Hello traders and welcome back to another market update. Today we are going to take a look at the currency market and see what's going on in terms of technical analysis. I'd like to start with EURUSD here. EURUSD sold off very heavily last week. We had a very nice seller's rally there, but actually we gapped open to the upside of this week before ultimately closing the gap and now moving back to where we started. So a lot of confusion, a lot of back and forth here on this pair. No clear direction at this point, but I do want to mention that of course we did pull back to this level here that we talked about. You can see price jumped up, and as we had expected, we actually saw the rollover continue back down to this area here. Right now the question will be, can we hold this level as a supportive level and continue that bullish bias that we currently have? Or is it going to fade out? Now here's the thing, this movement right here, a lot of it was due to the news, which you guys all know what is going on in the news, I am sure, right? But we have all that fear and panic that's causing EURUSD to rise very, very strong. And now we started to see the decline of that move as the Fed did some certain things to cut rates and that sort of thing. So we had some kind of conflicting ECB news with the Fed, and we had all sorts of stuff happen that caused price to pull back very sharply here. And the question will be, can price continue to rally like that, or is this news going to kind of fade? Now there is a little bit of discretion here, right? So if things get worse, it's possible we see a rise here on EURUSD, right? And alternatively, a move to the downside. So definitely something to watch the fundamentals on. From a technical perspective though, we do have some levels. If price does decide to break lower, the three levels that I'm going to mention here are these ones here. Now we've got support here, right? Where we previously found support, could be another supportive level if price makes a move down there. We also have this previous pivot low if price were to make a move to that point, and of course the long-term low there. Take a look at those on EURUSD, make your own decisions of course. GBP USD is the next one here. Gapped open here on the move open here, and then you can see we actually faded that move towards the rest of the day so far, right? So big thing here with pound dollars, I think it's possible we head back to some of these levels. We already made a pretty close attempt to get to this point here. Big question here will be this long-term zone of support. Can it actually hold, and will buyers be able to step in here and push price off of the lows? Next up is USDJPY, which actually gapped down and faded further so far. Now, what the big thing here is as fear picks up, it's a pretty good chance we would see a further decline here on USDJPY because, again, people would be flocking to the JPY or the yen, right? And that is going to make the USD relatively go down, right? So definitely something to watch for. Again, another fundamental kind of based movement right now, I think. This level here is a big zone of support. If price can hold that level as a rally point, it might actually be some signs of improvement. So something to at least consider there in your own analysis. Gold is next. You can see we actually pulled back very, very sharply here on XAU USD. We've actually pulled back even to a long-term trend line. We broke through this long-term trend line here, and we actually have this one to also consider now. So as price pulls back, I think it's possible we actually make a move here to the downside sometime in the near future. That's my personal opinion. I think it's a pretty good chance we get to that point. And if there is a move back to that point, there might actually be a trade set up as well, right? So looking here, we have previous support here where we actually could see price, find some sort of buyer setup, right? So there might actually be a decent setup here that I like on gold XAU USD. Next up is going to be Euro Pound, which is on a move to the upside. Still, you can see actually we broke past our 61.8 level here on this resistance point. So if we draw our fibs, right, you can see that price actually broke through the 61.8 at this area here, right? Very, very strong buying right now on Euro Pound as people are buying their euros and selling off their pounds. So next up, we'll have USD Swiss here, and you can see dollar Swiss, a lot like dollar yen. We gapped to the downside here on the start of the week. Kind of played back and forth right now and are still trying to find a direction. Now, if price decides to continue to the bullish side, we have this level here, which of course would be a previous level of resistance to look out for. And depending on your bias in the fundamentals right now, there might be a sell setup or a breakout buy setup, depending on what your kind of bias is with everything that's in the news. Next up is AUD Canadian, and you can see this one gapped open and then faded really quick and then shot back to the upside. Interesting going on with the AUD pairs right now. They are absolutely crazy. Speaking of which, we can take a look at AUD USD, which is trading at a very long-term low. You can see we absolutely sold off on this pair really, really hard due to everything that's in the news. We just saw tremendous amounts of bearishness. The trade war, the kind of the health world right now is just going crazy. And then of course, just the economic slowdown that we are seeing is definitely, a scary thing for the AUD pair. So, we'll see what happens to this pair. At some point, I think that there's a pretty good chance we get some sort of rally, we get some sort of buyer setup where price basically jumps back up strongly, probably due to some sort of bullish news. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you got something out of the video, and we'll see you guys back next time.